Hi friends, in this video, we are going to learn how to configure LateIN policy in COSEC. Prerequisites: Matrix COSEC time and attendance license. LateIN in COSEC allows user to come late for particular period of time and for particular number of days in a month which user needs to compensate. Let us start with the configuration. We will complete the configuration in 3 steps: LateIN policy configuration, configuration of absent marking rule in attendance policy, assigning LateIN policy to user. Let us start with the LateIN policy configuration. Go to time and attendance module, followed by policies, followed by LateIN policy. Let us add a new policy. ID is the system generated unique identity assigned to each LateIN policy. Specify a user-friendly name for the policy. Mark the policy as default to assign this policy to all users by default. Specify the period of validity for the LateIN policy. Activate the policy. Specify the maximum LateIN allowed time duration in minutes up to which LateIN is allowed. To set the rounding off on LateIN duration, go to LateIN rounding for fraction of an hour and provide the range in minutes. If the range for round off is configured from 1 to 59 minutes with replace value as actual and user comes late by 40 minutes, then system will consider the actual LateIN duration as 40 minutes only. Similarly, if a user has configured replace value as fixed with a range 1 to 59 minutes and fixed the value as 59 minutes, then system will consider LateIN period as 59 minutes though a user comes late with any duration between 1 to 59 minutes. This completes configuration of LateIN policy. Let us start with the configuration of absent marking rule. Go to attendance policy, followed by absent marking rule. Under LateIN or early out check, select the absent marking type as monthly count or monthly duration. When monthly count option is selected, the maximum allowed LateIN would be specified in terms of count. For example, if shift timing is 9:00 to 18:00 with LateIN count as 2 and maximum allowed LateIN minutes as 30 with no grace time. In this case, on day 1 and day 2, user comes at 9:30 and leaves the office at 18:30, utilizing his monthly LateIN count of 2. System marks the user present on both days. On day 3, user comes to office at 9:30, that is 30 minutes late from the shift start time and leaving the office at 18:30. Due to the completion of LateIN count, system marks him absent for first half. When monthly duration option is selected, the maximum allowed LateIN would be specified in terms of duration, that is minutes. For example, if shift timing is 9:00 to 18:00 and maximum LateIN allowed is 60 minutes with no grace time, in this case, on day 1 and day 2, user comes at 9:30 and leaves the office at 18:30, utilizing his monthly LateIN duration of 60 minutes. System marks the user present on both days. On day 3, user comes to office at 9:10, that is 10 minutes late from the shift start time and leaving the office at 18:10. Due to the completion of LateIN minutes, system marks him absent for first half. On selecting independent mode, the user needs to configure the counts for LateIN and early out options separately. On selecting combined mode, the user can configure a common count for LateIN and early out occurrence. Absent marking type can be either continuous or slab-wise. In continuous type, every LateIN occurrence has to be marked absent after the maximum occurrence count is reached. In slab-wise option, the system will mark an absent after every max occurrence count, then the count will be reset again. Mark absent option enables the user to define the type of absence as half day or full day after the maximum LateIN count has been reached. For example, in continuous type, if shift timing is 9:00 to 18:00 and maximum LateIN allowed is 60 minutes with no grace time, in this case, on day 1 and day 2, user comes at 9:30 and leaves the office at 18:30, utilizing his monthly LateIN duration of 60 minutes. System marks the user present on both days. Again, on day 3, user comes to office at 9:10, that is 10 minutes late from the shift start time and leaving the office at 18:10. Due to the completion of LateIN minutes, system marks him absent for first half. If user continues to remain late on all other days, he will be marked absent accordingly. For example, in slab-wise, if shift timing is 9:00 to 18:00 and maximum LateIN allowed is 60 minutes with no grace time, in this case, on day 1 and day 2, user comes at 9:30 and leaves the office at 18:30, utilizing his monthly LateIN duration of 60 minutes. System marks the user present on both days. Again, on day 3, user comes to office at 9:10, that is 10 minutes late from the shift start time and leaving the office at 18:10. Due to the completion of LateIN minutes, system marks him absent for first half. As per slab-wise policy, the LateIN minutes count will reset on maximum occurrence, that is 60 minutes. Configuring less working hours check option will mark the user present for his less working hours for which he does not have to compensate. Specify the daily allowed limits and monthly allowed limits. Select half day or full day absent when summation of a user's daily less working hours exceed the duration set in the maximum allowed per month. For example, if shift timing is 9:00 to 18:00, daily allowed limit is 20 minutes. Monthly allowed limit is 40 minutes and maximum LateIN allowed is 60 minutes with no grace time. In this case, on day 1 and day 2, user comes at 9:20, that is 20 minutes later than the shift start time, and leaves the office at 18:00 without compensating the 20 minutes of each day. System will mark him present for both days. On day 3, user again comes at 9:10 and leaves the office at 18:00. System will mark him absent for first half as the monthly allowed limits, that is 40 minutes defined in less working hours, were completed on previous 2 days. This completes the configuration of absent marking rule in attendance policy. Let us assign the LateIN policy to a user. To assign the already configured policy to a user, select the user from Users module. Followed by T&A and policy. LateIN policy changed from here will be effective only from the date on which the user has changed it. To assign LateIN policy from the first day of the month, go to Time and Attendance module. Followed by Utilities. Followed by Change Policy. For single user, select a user from the list. User attendance details show the current policies assigned to the selected user. Select the policy to be changed from the list. Define the date range to which this policy change would be applicable. Select a new policy from the list, which will replace the old policy. A remark related to the new policy change can be entered in the remark field. Applying the policy changes will be reflected in the user attendance change records section. For multiple users, select multi-user option and follow the same procedure followed for single user. and then select the multiple users from the user filter and apply it. Thank you for watching this video. For further queries, please contact Matrix Technical Support Team.